Okay, so we're going to talk about architecture and dystopias and
She just wants art. You want to talk about architecture?
architecture. Yeah. So I was thinking about brutalism and I guess like fascist architecture in general. Because I was thinking about like when I look at the city, I don't think of it as like a dystopia.
Yeah.
Like if you had showed me the art for this, I would not have immediately thought dystopia. But in the context of the game, a lot of the other things, I can kind of see it. I guess white is a pretty important color. If you think of like Le Corbusier's art, a lot of brutalism, there's like a lot of this like white is a really oppressive color, and they pushed a lot in the original game. And seeing it here, it's like there, but it's not quite like the thing that pops out to me. More if anything, it looks clean-ish. And just mostly modern. It just looks like really modern. And I don't really see the dystopian in it as much.
Yeah.
So I was kind of like, when I was like thinking how I would do differently, I guess the first thing that came to mind was brutalism, but I feel like brutalism is also a little overdone.
Yeah. I guess like when I think a lot of popular dystopians are like cyberpunk or like technopunk, and that's kind of like a retro futurism. Like that's what I think a lot of dystopians like really use that imagery really heavily. And like when it's like not so much like retrofuturism as just like some generic like metropolis with like added on junk. It's not like bad, but I think it's like harder to like sell this idea that it's like different or special, you know?
It's just sort of like, oh, here's a city, and they're doing this one thing, but really intensely.
I guess it's one of those things when like the craft doesn't like. It's like you can see like the craft because I'm like, oh, this is a video game. When I look at it, I'm like, I can tell that it's just supposed to be a video game.
It's like the product of like what it's
and there's so many markers that are just about
that's what
like,
I'm thinking,
conveying information as opposed to like existing and like tricking the viewer to think this is the world.
Okay, that's something that bothers me. Is that architecture is very like context important. And it bothers me because like all the buildings look like they're from the same era. But if you go to like any city, you like have like revivalist architecture, you have like international style, and there's kind of like a history just from like existing. But like when you have like a city design like this, it's almost like the whole city was just like born at once.
That's what
to me that's like super fake and like
I think that was like I read some like interesting like sci-fis that could use that aesthetic, like dystopias that are like, okay, this is like manufactured, this is a deliberate city. But and like maybe
I feel like it needs a little more.
But it doesn't feel
it needs to be intentional, more deliberate.
If you want to do something like that, if you want to do like the whole like what's the Disneyland city like in Florida, that's like a fucking Disney World city.
Yeah, fuck, I forget what it's called. Isn't it like
that's like something when I think of like a city that's like born and that was created in like an inorganic city. Oh, you got this. Like, do you want me to keep talking or are you just being quiet?
No, just keep talking.
Like an inorganic city, I think. And that's like, I get like a vibe of this doesn't feel organic to me. And if you want to push that vibe, I think either working like the machine-made quality of like sameness, like that's one way to go. But I mean, like, when you're like designing like a city or a world, you don't like you have to get out of your head. You have to get in the world of like the people who are making it. It's like whoever made this city when they made this building, like were they trying to create a city that, inorganically where they like was this made that way that it feels? I don't think it like the people who made the city, like not like the designers but like the characters, like I don't think that it's like the same.
It doesn't have like the fascist ideology. So like when you look at like Corbusier's like sort of.
But like, is this like a fascist dystopia? Because all dystopias are just like watered down visions of like kind of bad. I feel like all dystopias should have like fascism at like their core, honestly, because that's like maybe they don't have to, but that's the dystopia that we're facing today. Like as a society.
The thing that bothers me is that a lot of these are always like white men.
Like a generic dystopia.
What a dystopia should be, because they like can't see it in like their own kind of like.
Like a lot of dystopias are just like, people were too nice to each other, and everything was bad because I actually don't know, but it's like I think that dystopias should be like fascist, like governments, or they should be something that like a similar threat that like otherwise what's the fucking point of doing a dystopia if it's like, I mean, I'm all about escapism, but like no one's gonna relate to that. It's not gonna feel real if it doesn't come from anything real.
Right. No, totally. And that's,
so, yeah.
That's like my problem with like a lot of white protagonists in these.
Yeah.
And like I feel like people are always like, oh, it's just a game, but I'm like,
yeah,
but you're making a thing with like, with like these.
If you spend thousands of hours making something, you might as well fucking think about it while you're making it. Otherwise, like, what the hell is the point of having a person make something? You know? Yeah. So I think like, I guess like when I think of like fascist architecture, we're thinking of like brutalism. But there's also like every like. I think you can say something about this dystopia with any kind of movement, because like no matter what movement of history you're looking at, like there's always going to be like something wrong or like some kind of political undercurrent. So as long as like it's like thematically like jiving, that's okay. But here, like the thematic imagery, like the imagery I'm getting from this,
it's
like,
more aestheticized.
Yeah, it's like an aesthetic like New York City that's like bad in like a vague way.
Yeah, it's like super vague. That's like what I can't
like how is this a dystopia? Like what are the things you're critiquing?
Yeah, because more than anything, it almost looks just like fetishized. I want to say, just because like the way the soldiers are done and other stuff. Yeah. It's kind of just more like anything. I get the sense of like this is kind of cool, or like this is like something that isn't entirely bad. It just like looks cool. I don't know.
Yeah, I actually like, I'm like, okay, I get this is all bad, but like how is this different than, you know, the real world?
Yeah.
You know? I mean, maybe that's not what they're trying to do though. It's like, it's supposed to be like an edgy dystopia, but I'm like, okay, there's guards and shit.
I think the thing that you missed was that there was like this thing where Faith is like helping someone, goes out of her way, and everyone's like, oh no, Faith, don't do it, and she just like beats up 2 policemen, and then it's like, oh thanks, and it's just like, okay, like, that was your moment of like character development or whatever, but it's just like super like bland, and a lot of the things for this character background are just like, oh no, her parents were like taken away because they were scientists or something, and it's like, oh, free speech or something. I don't know. It's just like
it's like, I mean, I think that's like another really interesting dystopia. I feel like there's like the schools of like dystopia are like either hardcore like super like class oppression based, or they're super like 1984 like we're gonna kill anyone smart, and I feel like that's like I think like generic white dudes tend to go for that one, just because that's like kind of what they're afraid of more, I guess.
Which, I mean, it totally acts on there like
I mean, like I know one wants like a terrible like racist populist movement, like, you know, topical much, like that's obviously bad, but I think that's like easier for like these creators to swallow, just because it seems like, oh wait, that might actually affect me if people like hate me.
It just seems really shallow a lot of the time to me. It's kind of like, I don't know. It's like really surface level. It's more like they came up with the aesthetics first, and they're like, oh wait, what are we trying to say? Or it's just like,
honestly,
the idea is like, it's like someone's like, okay, so there's blah blah this, and you have to like run for them, and then nothing really explored beyond that.
Yeah. I mean, like, I guess if they just want to make like they just want to make a running game or whatever.
Yeah, so that was the other thing I kind of want to talk about. I think design above all in games is like pretty important. And like story is like pretty important in some games and like less important in others, but I won't lie, like a bad story in a game like this kind of keeps me from replaying it. So it's like,
I think that is important, especially since like I feel like a lot of things seem kind of like cookie cutter to me so far. Like the mechanic seems fun. I'm not playing it, so I can't tell. But
I like it.
Like a good mechanic, like a lot of games have good mechanics too, so I think they should like have something about this dystopia. It doesn't really stand out.
Okay, the thing I think that bothers me about it with this game especially is that it's open world, so they have this opportunity to like build something that's kind of like you can interact with in a richer way than like a linear story, but then I don't feel like they like fully take advantage of it like in the environment, like telling like what came before and what's now. Like I don't get that sense of like history or presence, and it's like, what's the point of exploring this whole city if it's just like there's nothing to tell? Even though it's like, okay, I get it, it's like you're just supposed to run through it, but you know, I kind of wish it would like tell a little more. Like right now it's just not doing that for me, so I'm kind of like bummed.
Yeah, I like the interior in spaces a lot because they're like hyper modern and weird looking, but like when you go outside it's just like a normal New York, which makes like the weird interior like high-rise like apartments look kind of like out of place. Like who's living here?
Yeah. Yeah, no, I was thinking about it too. It's like you don't get a sense of like the common person, and there was this one part when you weren't here where it was basically like, oh, if we get even one ad to like switch, we can open up the eyes of someone, and I'm like, do you think that's how it works?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I feel like I think a lot of dystopian, like the main character, like the the rebellious person, their goal is open up the eyes, and like I feel like I'm kind of tired of that because it doesn't feel relevant now, especially because like everyone's in fucking Twitter, like everyone knows there's bad shit going on, like that's not relevant to the current population anymore.
Yeah, no, that's true.
Like people are awake, people know what the fuck is, there's bad shit in this world. Like obviously, like we need something else other than that. Like I think our protagonist should be doing something else.
Oh, this is pretty.
Like, I mean, like fuck Hunger Games. At least Katniss Everdeen fucking did something, you know. I mean, I'm not gonna like. I don't think that's like a great dystopia, but I think there's more things happening there than just like opening someone's eyes.
I never really thought about it in like comparison to, like,
I think like I mean it's okay, but like I can't compare it to because also I feel like it started a lot of things in dystopias, especially like in literature. So it's hard to like really talk about it because like it's kind of tired, I guess.
Yeah.
But like, I mean, I don't really want to talk about it because I don't think it's that interesting.
I don't feel like talking about it.
Yeah, I think Hunger Games is not that interesting. But yeah, I think like, what was I gonna say? Like, I think like something like that, you get like a lot more sense of like what people are actually doing.
Yeah, no, I feel like that game was kind of built around like even watching the movies and not even interacting with books. Like you see a lot of like, oh, here's people and what they're doing in their daily life. Where am I supposed to go?
But I mean, like, I guess like you can't make every game about that. That's just like what I would prefer. But it really does bother me that we're not like walking past like people.
Yeah, I think you could like do something where you have like an isolated character. This is really pretty.
I think the main character should care if like the world is like made better or not. You know.
I think the thing that bothers me is that like I want to see like the results of like the character in the world in some way, and that's like what sort of like the video game.
Like I feel like we're not being affected by it right now.
Yeah, no, I feel like in games it's more important that like the thing that you feel is what the character feels is something that you feel, that you kind of like have this sense of like shared like.
What I think would be interesting is like maybe she could only run through certain areas because she's like not allowed to be seen in these places. But like later on, as like she changes things, she can like be seen in other places, or maybe could tag off between characters.
That'd be interesting.
I think. Well, I'm just trying to think of like ways to like explain that. The like maybe you can like run faster because you get like cooler tech or something. I don't know.
Oh, as far as like
how would you use the mechanic to like be like, okay, we're gonna fight against this dystopia and it's a good thing.
Yeah, you do get upgrades. I guess for me it's just like how is this character making a difference in this world? Oh, that's really cool.
Yeah, I think like it's just because it is like a first person, it's gonna be hard to have that kind of interaction.
That was all really pretty.
Yeah. I think like I played Until Dawn with my friends and I think that worked a little better is like the quick time elements because like it felt like isolated and it felt like survivalist, but like dystopia, I'm like tired of like survivalist type dystopias because like this is supposed to be about the world and that's not how you change anything. Everyone knows that.
What do you mean change as in like just doing these simple things?
You just have to do these 3 things and the world will be safe.
Yeah, no,
everyone knows that's not how it works.
Yeah.
We've had like 8,000 dystopias. No one's like fooled by that. Like not even like the generic white dude believes that. He just wants to like do the mechanic and have fun. You know?
Yeah.
Like, I don't think anyone's gonna buy that. So I actually don't know if this is like the right point of view for dystopia. Like, I think like if you wanted to do like a fun running parkour game, you could easily be doing like a zombie apocalypse, like you're running through the city type thing.
That's exactly what what's it called, Dying Light is. So I kind of wanted to play that game, but like
honestly, I feel like you could replace all of those with zombies and there'd be like no change whatsoever. Just like have like be like
seriously though.
I feel like
it's just
the
aesthetic
does not matter at all.
It doesn't.
Which is like whatever, like they had fun designing it, but it is kind of annoying like this dystopian aesthetic. It's not like a moral thing because like I mean art isn't really that. Art is moral, but like come on, we'll just
here it doesn't feel as moral. It's more as I think.
I mean like what I was gonna say is that I mean I'm not like I don't think they're bad people for doing this. I just think you're like a normal
it's
person.
It's just like not really.
Yeah, it's just not very
to like the extent
interesting.
that it could be. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it could be better. Like I'm not like saying they're like bad, but I just think they could have done better. And like I think if they did want to do like a fun running game with like first person, then maybe not try to like sell it with like this huge world that you can't actually interact with. Like sell it with something, because like a dystopian world like isn't like survivalist. Like I don't want to experience it that way. Like I want to experience like social issues and stuff like that, and that's like how I think of dystopia stories. Like something survivalist, that's like more fun to do like this, because then like it's less about like the character's individuality, more about like adrenaline response, you know. Like dystopia, I don't think of adrenaline response. I think of like crushing every day-to-day existence, and like that's something that's hard to communicate when you're like.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. Yeah, that's true.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I'm not really sure like how I would really like what I would do to this mechanic or to this world to make them feel more cohesive.
Right.
But because I actually like I would just get rid of the first person thing.
Yeah.
Honestly, I don't even know if it's like. Yeah, I'm trying to think of like a good dystopia like movie or book or game that I actually enjoyed in my life, but a lot of them are really annoying.
Yeah.
I feel like you just can see way too much of like how the person feels about people through them, and I think most people are actually really dismissive of everyone who doesn't have a college education.
Okay, yeah, that's what bothers me.
I'm like the average person who is the worst. It's like, bitch, they're the ones paying your bills first of all. So stop like shitting on the average person, the average consumer. You know, when people are like, oh, Americans just love to buy stuff. It's like, well, you're fucking lucky they bought your game then, bitch.
Yeah, no,
you know?
totally.
I hate when people critique shit like that. Dang, I should stop talking so much. But yeah, I feel like dystopias always reveal way too much of like what the creator thinks of people, and then usually
that's why the last night was so like alarming for me, because I remember like my friends were like talking about the game, and then they're like, oh, it's by this guy, and I was like, that name sounds familiar, and then I was like, oh, I know this guy, and he's like said all these things, and I kind of know like how he feels about these things, and I was like,
yeah,
I know,
like whatever, make a generic action game where you just run through shit if you're gonna be like that. But I don't want to know about you think about society if you're gonna talk like that, you know. I'm trying to think of a good dystopia, but I can't think of any. I think what I really like when I think of dystopia, I guess I just like weird shit like Taking Concrete, which is not like a dystopia, but it's like a portrait of like kind of something that's failing. I think that's more fun. I can't think of like an actual good dystopia. Because I was thinking that like maybe if this is close to like a generic like, you know, New York City or Metropolis or whatever city they're trying to do, like that's okay. Then it's not a dystopia, it's just like a portrait of like a failing world that's very similar to ours. It's supposed to be a world that we know that's failing. But like I said, I don't think there's like really that much intentionality with
yeah, no, that's what I get.
Oh dude, you're so close. Sorry, I just think a lot about world building actually.
Yeah, no, I love like thinking about that kind of thing.
Looks intense.
Yeah, I love him.
You got it? You got the mission?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, I guess like
fed someone.
What really annoys me are like portraits of like failed cities or like failed like dystopian, and they like show like the underclass as like examples, and then like the main character is like a police officer or something. It's like if and like at the end nothing changes, and I feel like if the character is like someone in power in a dystopia at the end, they haven't like changed where they are at all, then I feel like I've just watched something about someone really bad, but no one knows that the person is bad.
Yeah. Yeah, sometimes like if I can't tell what the creator is saying, then I get a little like, this is really pretty. Mm-hmm. But yeah, if I look at this, I would not think immediately like oppressive dystopian.
It looks fun.
Yeah, if anything, I'm like, oh, this is like really fun.
It looks kind of like an airport, but like a fun airport. Like not like an airport where you wait in line.
Yeah.
And like that's okay. I want to run around an airport. It's fun.
Yeah. It's like I would run around here, but I mean, I don't know if it's like telling the story.
I'm trying to think of a good dystopia I've read or watched.
Oh wow, this is interesting because there's like cameras here.
I like
but it's
this.
like, you know, shouldn't there be
there's
like
so much
more
reflection.
of that?
You were talking about reflection.
Yeah.
But she doesn't have any reflection.
No, yeah, she does, in like some places, but a lot of these won't. They're mostly just like cute map reflections.
She's sleepy.
Oh, she's tired. Yeah, she's not saying a lot.
Dude, lay on my lap, okay?
I like this train. Did you see that train that's going through here?
Yeah, dude, that's my favorite sci-fi shit ever. Is,
oh my
like,
god.
trains.
Yes, I love trains. I love these couches too. They're just like out here. What if they get wet? Oh wait, they're like
Isn't
wicker.
there like a roof? There's no roof.
This is the roof.
Oh fuck, dude. Maybe they pull him in.
Okay, I don't really know where to go next.
I can't think of a single good dystopia. I'm gonna Google it. I can't think of anything I've ever enjoyed in my life, honestly. Except for Night in the Woods.
Night in the Woods is so good. You should play Kentucky too.
Yeah, I should.
Where's the next story thing? Is it just the red one?
Good dystopia. I Googled it.
I kind of wish this would just tell you what the main missions are, because I just want to finish this game.
Yeah.
Although, I do love that it's open world, but I'm still like,
I watched like half of the Matrix.
Also, you kind of missed it, but I like spent like so much of the last level being like, oh, this is fucking glass. I hate that.
Oh jeez. Yeah.
I like can't tell what's transparent or not.
Oh, Mad Max is a dystopia? Is that true? I don't think Mad Max is a dystopia.
Yeah, totally. Cause
oh, it has like a society, I guess.
Yeah, no, that's what they're the whole thing. They're,
oh,
like,
District 9. Oh, I like District 9. I saw that like a few years ago. I didn't watch that. I only watched it once. But...
Wait, do I have to race? Oh wait, no. Okay.
Fuck yeah.
I've never watched District 9. Is that the alien one?
Yeah, I remember liking it a lot, but I don't know if I'd like it again.
I remember like it was kind of weird, and I remember like reading some VFX articles for it, but I like didn't know like what it was about.
I think it's like a little painfully transparent. In some
places. It seems like a little too literal on the xenophobia thing.
Yeah.
I don't know. That was the sense I got just from like.
Yeah. I think like something that's like that literal when you can't actually. I mean, I love like dystopias that are like or science fiction that's like okay, here's some fucking allegories in your face. Like I love allegories. Like what's the point of reading something that
I love these.
is not?
I love when you can just like
really
look
cool.
into a room. There's like so many of these like little things. I think they're kind of fun.
Yeah. But I was just like, if it's something that's like that
cool if they had that, but they like had people in it and you could like see
why
more.
Is everyone there?
See, that's the thing.
Is that hard to model like a few people and have them like walk around generically?
No, not really. Well, it depends. The behavior stuff could be kind of tricky. But to me, it's like you have this like city of glass, but then you like never see the people, and I kind of wish it would be more.
Yeah,
like,
it's very bizarre.
Like you could see
I
more
feel like
people here, and like
an absolute lack of people is
life.
actually like very strange at this point. You know?
Yeah, and like the only people that you do interact with are like the other runners, and it's like. That's why I'm like aching to like see more of the people that supposedly Faith is helping, because it's like, oh, she's such a good person, but when you don't like see that, it's hard to like connect with it because it's just sort of like abstract and like kind of plastic and like funny in a way. I'm like, okay, she's a good person, I guess. You like keep saying that, but I like don't believe anything. Like there's that one guy that she saves, but like I don't know, I don't really like feel a connection. She didn't like talk to him that much. We didn't even get his name, and it's like. You know what I mean? Like that kind of thing where it's just
I forgot about Akira.
Where it's just like sort of like a vignette for like showing that this character is a good person.
Yeah.
So it's like using these characters in a way that's only really as background.
I totally forgot about Akira.
Oh my god, yes, let's talk about
Like that's
Akira.
like the only important dystopia. Like that's not true, but like I think what was fun about that is that the main characters were so selfish. Like I want more selfish characters.
To me that's like Evangelion, but like about shonen boys rather than mecha robots.
Yeah.
Because it's like, what if we gave a boy this much power and like how would it be like actually used rather than just like a hero?
Fun. Yeah.
So to me it's like almost feels like ahead of its time in that deconstruction of like anime power.
Yeah. And it was about like World War II and stuff like that, right?
Yeah.
Well I think that was good because like
I don't know how to make this jump.
I don't think we really like I don't think dystopias I mean, you can have like a happy ending, but I don't think, I think like if there's like enough bad things that happen, like eventually I'll be like, I don't want a happy ending because I feel like it like cheapens like all the sacrifices people have made.
Right.
So I think something like that. I don't want everyone to be sad, but I don't want to like necessarily feel like it's easy, you know. And I feel like if it's easy to like fix the world, then I'll be mad that no one's done it before. Well, Akira is just like perfect. But,
yeah, no, it's very good.
I mean, like that, like whole cyberpunk aesthetic. And like this isn't cyberpunk though. Even though they're wearing like cyberpunk type clothes, it's like really not like cyberpunk. Except for like the neon lights. But I mean, not everything has to be retrofuturism. So I'm just like rambling now.
Yeah, no, that's interesting. I love how the voice synthesis in this universe is like less advanced than ours.
Yeah. She's hot.
Kiss?
Yeah, are they gonna make out? Oh my god.
Oh my god.
Hot. Please make out. Yeah, I'm actually like really uninterested in like the chosen one or like the rebel group or whatever. Like I don't actually like believe in them, you know?
Yeah.
Cause like there's no one like that in real life. People are just like doing what they can.
Yeah.
But it's
I
not
feel like the survival part is like more important.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's more fun if it's like just the mechanic. Man, that she's cute.
God, that blur is so strong.
Sorry, I shouldn't think so much about it because it is just like a fun little runner game.
No, that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to like think too much about it.
Man, this is like really close to real life, like the animation. She's so cute.
I know.
Please hook up with a cute hacker chick.
I hate Faith's voice acting.
Yeah, honestly, I think all of her
So
acting is
bad.
very awkward, and I don't know why.
Just her, like, specifically, her voice is, like, very disappointing for, like,
Yeah.
a main character.
She always sounds kind of annoyed.
Oh my god, I can't stand it.
So like the side characters, like the cute little hacker chick, like I think
Yeah.
her acting was way better. So
Yeah.
frustrated that Faith's acting is not that good.
I was, like, thinking about it earlier, but there was just, like, such a weird interaction before. Oh, everything about this is so shiny. Let's see. Anything interesting?
Yeah, I think these interiors are really fun though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're so shiny.
Yeah, they feel like super like sci-fi.
Yeah. I just love like the shapes of these too. They're kind of fun. These colors are like more interesting too. Where am I going?
Is her name Plastic? Is that the hacker chick?
Yeah, I think that's her.
This is fun. This feels like this really does feel like an airport. 'Cause
See,
it
I
just
can't
keeps
tell
going.
like where the glass is or not.
Yeah, it's really annoying. Pretty. But see, like even when you're outside, I can't tell if it's like an interior and exterior space. And I wish that was more deliberate.
I feel like I can tell like the interior exterior spaces because it's very hot outside and
But there's like a lot of like similar like
colors.
again, like I think like your scale, like I don't have like a strong sense of scale.
Oh yeah, actually that bothers me too because like you don't see a lot of like the windows or like the scale is sort of like abstract. I feel when it comes to like some. Well, I guess you can kind of tell with like some of the
And
buildings.
I feel like a lot of the buildings are like the same distance away, and I want you to like
Yeah.
run past something big, and like maybe like because I feel like what do they look like on the grounds? Like where are the streets? You know, like where
Yeah.
like how the fuck do the cars move through these streets? Because it doesn't make any
Actually,
sense.
I did see cars. I don't know if you saw it before.
Oh
but
yeah, that makes sense.
I think those are fake lights too that they had on before, but yeah, I talked about that for a little bit.
Yeah, I think maybe it's like you said, like it wasn't like an organically created city because I can't see like signs of stuff built on top of each other.
Where am I supposed to go?
I guess this interior space, I can tell it's interior. But even sometimes when you're outside, I like, can't tell that it's outside.
Interesting.
You're like, oh, I'm on a rooftop, and like there's like a couch, you're inside. Ooh.
I love how they use like these art structures, and I feel like they could have pushed like some of the art stuff a little more because I feel like art is like such a oppressive
Yeah,
thing.
I love art and dystopias. Oh my god, I love that. That's like one of my
Yeah,
favorite
so
things.
to me that was like something that I really like, or like the interior spaces and like the art. The design too.
You know what
but,
I
like-
really hate is when dystopians like, oh, art is like a good pure force.
Oh my
Like,
god,
no,
yes.
and dystopian
No,
art better
oh
be
my
fucking
God,
awful.
yeah,
Art better be
no, like,
oppressive.
art-
Get your head out of your ass and
Yes.
realize that you're not a fucking perfect person just because you're an artist.
Oh
you
my
know?
god. Okay, yes. To me, like art spaces in general and like especially like gallery spaces. I feel like the gallery is like overused, but like art in general is like an oppressive thing.
Yeah.
Especially like with like the color white and then like this sense of like, okay, if you don't understand it then you're not like part of
Yeah.
us.
Oh my god, so true. So it's
So
like,
I feel like I almost want to see like a campy sort of thing where it's like you have to like understand this art or like there's something like I don't get it or something. I don't know. That'd be kind of fun.
yeah. But I definitely like if I'm in a dystopia and there's like an artist, they better be like a bad person.
Yeah.
They better represent the fucking evil ideas
Oh,
of
you can
society.
see her reflection here. Yeah, I love when they like have close things and you like can see her reflection.
I like the red so much.
They
like,
typically, I've noticed they do it in like closed spaces where you won't see any other characters, because then you don't have to worry about dropping frames or like having to capture like a lot of dynamic objects or like moving things. This one isn't. Seems like they're doing it more on some of the darker stuff.
Yeah.
But anyway, sorry.
No, that's cool.
It's just interesting to like notice it because obviously that's a deliberate decision that someone had to make.
Yeah.
Not that you would notice as a character, but to me it's like interesting because I feel like they're trying to put it where they can.
Yeah.
Because that's like pretty important.
Ooh, so pretty. I like that balcony
oh my
up
god.
there.
I love all these materials.
Ooh, these are cool. Like, yeah, these like
so
these
what they're
like
doing well. I think I talked to this a little bit before, but they have a lot of like these like really like not flat, large shapes and forms and like silhouettes. They break it up with like different like materials.
Yeah, that's really cool.
It's like if I see something and I can feel it, like I know I could just touch it. Like to me, that's like really important because like then it like.
Yeah, this is so cool. I love this.
I don't know.
The space feels so real, and that's why it's so frustrating because there's so many good things going into these interior spaces, especially are so interesting.
And it's like, yeah,
like what does it mean?
Just think about it.
What does it add up to? What are you trying to say about it?
I know. Screen.
Like, what are you trying to say about like this modernism? Like, isn't really like I can't match it to an art movement.
Yeah, it would be really
modern?
cool too if they had like parts of the city that were like more like this, and then other parts that were like more brutalist or something.
Yeah.
And you kind of had like this.
Honestly, yeah. Before I was like, I don't think you have to do retrofuturism to be a dystopia, but actually, I think you need to at least be inspired by something in the real world.
I feel like at least something that has like a little bit of history before.
Yeah, because otherwise, like, what are we supposed to make of it?
It's like something came before this. Oh, can I like go up this one? Oh god, I don't know how to do that.
What was I gonna say? Yeah, like I feel like all the cool art is like coming together for some kind of aesthetic, but I don't really know like what they're trying to say with it.
Wow, that was really
like who are they like talking about? You know, like what ideas are bad?
Yeah.
In this world, except for like
it's kind of generic. It's like they have this like caste thing too. It's like there's like outcast, low caste, or whatever, and it's like I feel like the caste thing is too easy, especially like when you're gonna use that like word literally.
Yeah, I mean, you're like your sci-fi can't like the theme of your sci-fi story can't just be murder is bad and oppressing people is bad. Like we know that, you know, even people who are bad, like even like evil, like bad real world people know that.
Yeah.
And they just don't think what they're doing is bad because they're like whatever. It's fine because I'm not part of the problem, you know?
Totally, yeah.
But I mean, I don't actually ever think about their opinion that much. I should, though, because actually, like, a lot of your audience is, like, that kind of person, but...
Oh my god, I can't do this.
Like, I should let you focus. But anyway, I guess I only, like, try to think of people who I...
know would be interested.
Yeah, or, like, care. I guess, like, you can make media that's trying to change people's minds, or you can make media that's supposed to be for the people you care, like, that you care about. And I don't think I can change anyone's mind, is it? Like, I actually don't think art can change anyone's mind at all. You know? Like, I think
that's really dismal, but I believe it.
I think art can make people feel better, and I think art can, like,
comfort.
Yeah, I think art can be comforting, and I think art can, like, kind of help you, like, forget for a little while. I think art can, like, inspire people.
Do you think art has ever disturbed anyone?
Disturbed anyone?
Yeah.
Oh, definitely. Art can definitely, like, I think art can really hurt people too.
Yeah.
But I think even if I don't think art is necessarily like a moral force, I think people are gonna consume it no matter what because they need to. Yeah. Like, I don't think art is useful, but I think it's necessary. Like, I think that people are gonna read books and watch movies and play video games just
You say art isn't useful, but the ironic part is that architecture is useful.
Like, it's not.
Yeah. To me, I think there's a spectrum, and.
Oh, I was thinking like fine art, but you're right about like architecture.
No. When I say art, I'm like talking about like all kinds of arts, and to me, it's always funny because like architecture sits at that like ironic cusp of like both on the spectrum of like utility and like expression.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like why it's such a powerful force, I think, because it's. Wow, actually, I
guess I was just thinking about stuff that has no use, like a movie doesn't have any use,
right?
You know, but like I think architecture and graphic design is like something else because they're like real things.
Oh god, I don't know how to beat this.
Like movies, like a TV show only justifies its own existence with like advertisement. Like it pays for itself through like selling other things. But like a building doesn't have to like pay for itself with other things. Like it pays for itself because people like pay for it. You know. Well, I was just thinking about art being useful. But yeah, like what I was gonna say is that like I think even though entertainment, like I think that someone's gonna make it and so people are gonna consume it because they have to because. Like that's just how you are a person by consuming media. Well, some people don't really like to, but I think most people do.
Yeah.
So I think
that makes sense.
Like, so even if I don't really think art is necessarily moral or good, or I don't think art can really change anyone's mind about stuff, well, maybe it's little by little, you know. But I think like people are gonna consume it anyway, so I might as well do my best job making something that is about people I care about and is helpful for people I care about, you know.
Yeah, I feel that too. I think. Because I only make art for the people like me and people I care about.
Yeah, and I think that like people, especially like that kind of person, like really needs art more than anyone else.
True.
So like, yeah, I don't think art is gonna like incite a revolution or whatever. I don't think art is gonna change the world, but people need it, so I think it's good that we make it.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm bad at this.
No, it's okay.
Wow.
I'm actually just chilling and thinking about art.
Yeah.
So I think about art a lot. Well, actually, I don't think I got to that conclusion like a couple years ago. Maybe I should like rethink it, but like ever since I did, I don't really have to. I don't really think about am I doing like a good thing by making art because I'm like I'm gonna make it because that's like who I am as a person.
Yeah.
And like it doesn't have to be good, but it's like good if it is, you know. Well, I think it should be good. I think you should always try to make something moral and good and helpful.
I wonder if I can just jump.
Oh my god, you got it! Holy fuck.
Jesus.
Dude, you finally
got it. Oh my god. Well, that was a good discussion. Oh my god, if I fucked this up.
Sorry, I was just telling you my feelings, so. Oh, thank Christ.
Oh my god. So, ooh, there's more.
Yeah, I want to hear you talking about architecture more.
So about design and why I think this was poorly designed, but also why I think it's like adhering to design principles. I love this. So typically in games you have like a gate, so a player can't pass something unless they can like master it or prove that they know how to use something, and that's kind of what that was back there. So there was like something where you had to like wall run, but you had to jump a little bit before you do the wall run, but it doesn't really ease you into that. And I think the way I would have done it is like introduce it just as like a single jump rather than at the end of a third jump. Because I see how it's like building on that, but it was actually pretty punishing to like try to master it.
Yeah, that was like, you almost like wanted to.
It was super frustrating, but it's like I wouldn't give up, but I know it would be really frustrating
I would give
to
up
watch.
After, like, 3.
I think it would be hard to watch, so that's why I was kind of like frustrated because I don't want to do it on stream as much. Sloth. So to me, it's like kind of like okay, if it's something that an inexperienced player would struggle with, I wouldn't put it where you fall behind like 2 more places.
Oh yeah, because you have every time you like fail the jump, you have to go back and do the other two.
So this is pretty cool. In the original game, you had a lot of these kinds of puzzles where you'd start at the bottom and then you'd have to like jump your way up through these things. But I love this because it's just like the same thing with like I wish they had more of this weird modern art installation pieces. And then you just have like Faith just like running around. And I kind of wish they would go like roll with that like more. We probably will see it, but I feel like that to me is like, oh, this is cool, love design, but also architecture. And I feel like to me, this is just like the art that's like in the world that I want to see more.
I love that because like in real life, like modern art, it's like it has a point and it's about stuff, and it's like I think modern art is important and good, you know. And I think art and like kind of weird sculptural shit is important and good. It can be saying like a lot of cool things, but I love it in video games. It's always like the sign of like decadence and like pointlessness.
Yeah, no, totally.
And it's like one of my favorite things. I love it. Like dumb, like weird paintings and shit.
Yeah,
especially in dystopias when like the evil villain has like all this shit and it's like all this dumb art.
Oh my god, me too.
That's my fucking favorite shit. Especially when you can jump on it and fuck it up. Just because I think like art is like that's like an example of art being bad because it's like it's just like this kind of decoration and like showing off. But I mean, I think also something that annoys me about that is when like they're like, oh, art is bad because it's not like giving food to people too, but it's also like ignoring the fact that you can't just like like no one exists like that. Like life isn't like that, and like real world issues aren't like that. Where it's like you can only have art or food. That's the only choice, you know.
Right.
But I mean, I think it's fun here because you get to jump on it. But that is also like annoying and dystopian. When there's like all this like classic modern art, and that's like a sign of like decadence.
Yeah, no, it's only like a decadence thing, but I kind of wish it would be more like showing the artists too, not just the buyers. Because it's funny too, because like I remember Mark Rothko. Hang on, I'm gonna tweet a quick thing real quick.
Wait, who's Mark Rothko?
He's the guy who does like the gradient paintings, where it's just like a red square.
Oh yeah, that guy.
Yeah, but I love his work so much. At first I like hated it, but then like I don't know, it's just like seeing the way he kind of like talks about it. I'm just like, man, this dude just loves to paint, and it's just so.
Yeah, I'm so happy for those artists. You know what? I want modern art like for dystopian.
But it's also like so painful for him too. She's screaming. Oh, I thought that was her.
I want modern art in games to be like that guy who does like the balloon art, like the giant red balloon dog, like that dude. You know who I'm talking about? Like he does a really fucking ugly sculpture that's like huge, and he never even does it himself. He like pays people to do it.
I think I know who you're talking about, but I like don't know.
I can't remember his name, but I hate him so much. Every time I hear it, I like scream a little bit. Because he actually, you can tell by the way he talks and like the art he makes that he hates everyone.
Oh.
He hates everyone who doesn't have a college
She's coming to
education in art.
Oh my god.
You know?
That's
and he hates everyone who isn't rich. And I want artists in games, like art in games, to be like that.
Yeah, no, I want more like weird artists in games, not just like useful to player, but just like as evil. I don't know. I love that. So like not even just like the decadence of the buyers, it's more like here's the snottiness of like the artists. And like more like Whistler kind of thing, where he like made all these paintings with like the women, and everyone was like, what does it mean? It was just like it was just like for to study white. Oh, here we are. This is cool because you could see it before, but now you're like actually interacting with it as Faith. Ooh, and then you can die. But these levels are always really fun because you can see it from like multiple levels, and I think that's actually like a really fun use of space. This kind of feels like a playground. Yeah. So I think they're like interior spaces in this game are like really satisfying because you get like a really good sense of them, and they always have like multiple levels.
You want to play the game, Coconut? You want to play it?
I think like 3D is like really hard in general because you have to like think about all these like viewpoints. Yeah. And it's really tricky.
Because with 2D you just like fucking hide it.
But with 2D you like what it looks like on the paper is what it looks like on screen often. But in 3D it's like you can like draw it, but you have to like draw it 5 different ways for it to make sense. So like making sure that it makes sense from all viewpoints is very like, really tricky, I feel like. Yeah. At least for me. Maybe it makes sense to some people, but okay. Where am I going? Oh, probably that one. I don't know. It's hard because like sometimes this is why these first-person games are tricky. It's like almost impossible sometimes to like read like how far you can jump. Yeah. And like typically you'd get a sense of it from like some of the previous things, but since we've never seen this kind of installation, getting a sense of like what the space between these things means and like how the player character can like
I feel like all the stuff you've been jumping on is very much like there's the wall, different. You jump up and then you fall into the floor if you don't make it. This is like a lot different than that.
So it's like hard for me to like know for sure if this like player can like, or the character, I don't know. Oh, this is where we came.
There's a guy at my work, like one of the new guys, is like, he said he's a competitive gamer for Overwatch. I'm like, really? He didn't say anything else about it, and I was like, that's really
cool. You can play competitively.
That's so cool. I was just thinking about gamers.
I don't like playing competitively.
But Overwatch is first person too, right?
Yeah, it's a first person shooter. Okay. Yeah, I don't really know exactly where I'm supposed to go. I would guess I'm supposed to use this. Oh wait, it's giving me the red line. I guess I'll probably be going down. The thing is, like, with the that one mass in front of it, I would assume that you would go that way, but that might not be the case. Let's see. Oh, I guess I'm going down. Oh, I thought I came from that way. So.
I like that texture.
Yeah, me too. Although it kind of looks like a stock substance texture or something.
I also like it just because it's really different than what you would think it would be.
Yeah.
I thought it would be like really shiny metallic-y, but it's kind of like
it's more like yeah.
Like how would it float if it's like rock? It's cool.
Oh no, it's like held up by cables.
Oh yeah, I know, but it just like it's just.
I kind of do want to look at this a little more because it's like one of the more interesting spaces.
Yeah, it's really artsy. I love it.
Yeah. Oh, she's screaming.
What's wrong, baby?
Come on, we're talking about art right now. Come on, dude.
She likes art.
This dude. No, I'm talking about this
She's in a family of 3 artists. She loves art.
Yeah, she's gonna grow up to be a beautiful artist.
Ooh, this is cool. I like the wires there too. I fucking love wires.
Yeah.
Honestly, I'm not a huge fan of like slick, modern-y, unless they're like super, super slick, modern-y sci-fi worlds. Like you were talking about the contrast before. Like I want like a more contrast between like the trash world, like the underworlds and like.
There isn't really much of an underworld. I mean, you do see a little bit of it in the beginning of the game. Oh my god, am I supposed to just jump? See, I hate this because like a lot of these things aren't super obvious. Hi Bev.
Hi Bev.
Bev's in the chat.
Bev.
Yeah.
Hi Bev.
The thing about level design is that you want the player to feel smart. So like if they see something, it should look chaotic, but you should be able to quickly read what you're supposed to do. And a lot of times I don't feel that when I'm looking at this. Like I feel like I do need the red line to tell me where to go. Hi gamers, that's us. We're gamers.
Would Bev say that?
Yeah.
Hi gamers.
Yeah, we're gamers. Oh my god, I hate this.
Hi.
Hey.
We'll find gamers.
We're talking about art and how much we hate it.
How do you feel about art, Bev?
I like it.
It's good. It's actually bad, I didn't know that. Like who goes to this area? Like who walks through here?
Where am I going? Am I going up or down?
Yeah, this place is frustrating because I'm like, who would ever go in here? Like, what's the point?
Yeah, that's the other thing too. It's like sometimes you see these things and you're like.
That's why we don't see one because no one ever goes into these places. Like they don't have any use. Like
yeah. Well, we are because we're supposed to be like a runner, so it's like supposed to be like a covert thing.
But like, where are you going to like a? But like, when I think of like a covert area, I'm like you're going through like utility rooms and like passageways, and then you'd be like cramps, and you'd be like going tripping over shit. And then there'll be like a fun contrast with these huge spaces that do have like use for like corporations or meeting rooms or like meetings and like office shit, you know? Like I feel like a lot of these like that's something that's really been bugging me, especially, and that makes like combined with the no people thing. It's like this world was created just for you to run through it. Yeah. And I don't want to do that. I want to run through a world that wasn't created for me. I want to like solve it.
That's what bothers me too, because it's like this game is supposed to be like, oh, we can't exist here, so we have to run. But it's like literally the whole world was like designed.
This world was designed for you. Like this world is perfect for you. I want to solve and figure out a world that isn't meant for me. Yeah. Like that is like obviously meant for like an office or something. Like how much cooler would it be to run through like a sick sci-fi office than like a sick sci-fi space?
I know. I do love this space.
Yeah,
it's just like it doesn't like say like what it's like trying to say literally.
But like when you were walking through like that room, there was like the orange like.
There's so much popping with these skeletons.
I was like, okay, like who goes through here?
Right.
Like what's the point?
Yeah, totally.
Like
you don't really get a sense of how people use this space.
That's why I get I can't tell the theme at all because like literally this doesn't mean anything because they don't mean anything. They aren't anything. They're just spaces. It could be like, this game would be exactly the same as just like a bunch of blocks.
Yeah, no, totally. And that's what the original game felt like. It was kind of like this isolated sort of,
like,
yeah. And it felt fake. And then this one, they kind of like try to make it more naturalistic.
But it still feels super fake.
With some of the materials, but it still kind of feels like a simulation or something.
Yeah, you can't just like add like a bunch of shiny, like pretty like couches and shit on it. You know, that doesn't make it feel like people live here. Yeah. I don't know what does, but not this. Well, I could probably figure it out. Like I was thinking, like that space you walk through, like what rooms does it connect through? Like, what's the purpose of them? When are they open? Like when are they closed? What are the fucking building hours?
Yeah, I feel like
no one thought about that when they're making
giving like this sense of like what people do at night and day can also be really powerful, and like you get like the opportunity for that.
I like this one because it feels like art gallery and like those art spaces that are very like.
Yeah, no, those are so
pointless, but like, in a good way.
Yeah, totally.
Like,
art gallery, in my opinion, like would be like a perfect like setting for this kind of thing because you get like the structures that you could like climb, and there's like useless, like even cool, like
art gallery. It's like huge. But then, like, it would be cool if there was, like, a walkway, too, that you couldn't walk on, so there's, like, people on it or something.
Oh, that'd be
wouldn't
cool.
it be fun?
Yeah.
Like, it was, like, more, like, different kinds of spaces, because all these spaces are just spaces you can run through.
Right.
You know? Like, they're, like, they all look different, but, like, they all kind of interact with all of them in the same way. And I think it'd be fun to, like, figure out different ways of, like, running through a space.
Yeah, I mean, it does do that, and that was kind of, like, the point of the game. Okay. I hate the combat in this.
Yeah, maybe I'm being too hard on it, but yeah, that's just something.
No.
I was like trying to figure out why these spaces bothered me a little bit, and now I'm like, oh yeah, it's because they're not used for anything except for you to run through.
Right.
These guys aren't guarding anything except for, like, they're just waiting for you to show up.
Pretty much.
Like, this whole world revolves on you. That's so boring.
More of these people?
Like, I
just
like,
run past them?
When I'm in dystopia, I want to be carving out my space in the world.
Yeah, no, totally.
Yeah, that's like why I think the mechanic kind of fails the game, or like the game mechanic is failed by the game.
Yeah, it's sort of like...
it's too easy.
It is. It's too obvious, or it's like too size.
Yeah, it's like you don't have to figure it out as much. Well, you do, but like, it's not like you're figuring out like your character, you're just figuring out the simulation of being a character. Sorry, you're trying to fight him. I'll just stop.
That's okay. I hate the combat in this game.
Yeah, I mean, it's more than like art galleries. Like an art gallery, maybe not all of them, because like going after a while, but I think that's like the gallery space is fun. Yeah.
Finally, can we just go past these dudes? Jesus. See, it's like really hard to tell like when those things are open, and I can like run through them.
Is this place an art gallery too? This looks like a gallery. I shouldn't make fun of it because it's like clear that's like this game's major design flaw. So if I keep making fun of it, it'll be like every fucking scene, like every fucking level, I'll be making fun of it and it'll get boring.
Yeah.
Like where the hell is this place? I like these interiors actually because they do feel like they're. I mean exteriors because they do feel like they're interior. I think it's like a fun way to design a place.
Yeah, maybe you're right. I think to me, like, still some of the colors feel kind of like more hot. Oh wait, I don't really know. I like the water.
Yeah, that's really good. Maybe these places are cool. But also go outside. Like, they don't really have to be for anything. What are these guys grabbing? They're just waiting for you.
I don't know. Do I have to fight them? I kind of don't want to.
Maybe you don't have to.
Oh my god, I hate the UI for their health though. It's just like really bad.
Oh yeah, it's on the bottom.
No, it's like above them, but it's like really bland. I don't know. I'm not super about it.
I like this.
Yeah, I like the variance in the types of spaces.
Yeah, I like the narrowness.
Yeah. I have a lot of thoughts about like narrow spaces versus other stuff.
Yes, run through there.
You have to like disable it.
Oh shit. Yeah, I think like the main issue is that no one like when they were making these spaces they like didn't go through it like wait, what is this used for? How does this connect? Like what's the point?
Ooh, I like this.
Ooh, like,
oh, this is like different. Okay, I like
this
that.
is cool. Ooh, I want to know about this space. This is really cool.
Yeah.
I think this is like a testing kind of place. They look like they test things with like a computer, right? Like, yeah, I like this because it definitely has like a.
Hi kiddo.
There's something that happens here.
Yeah.
I don't know how like an average person would get in and out of this place, but whatever.
This makes me think of the end of Psycho-Pass.
Oh, I never only watched all of that. I only watched like half of it.
Oh, well, guess I'm just gonna fuck up.
I'm so zippy right now.
She's like, I'll save you because you fucked up just this once. Oh, can we only like climb up these ones? Oh, that's cute. I like that. Those wall runs are like really hard to nail because like you don't know when you're like doing it right.
Yeah. Yeah. I like the glass. Oh, no! We have to go all the way back through it again?
No, they're usually pretty okay about it.
That calls gamers again.
Oh no, I was just checking to see if anyone was in the chat, but I don't think anyone will on this time of night. Thanks for playing, or watching with me.
Yeah, it's fun. I'm so critical of everything.
No, it's fun, because I feel like people don't like talk about games as much as they should in this way, and I kind of want someone to like take me seriously when I talk about games like this.
Yeah, I mean, I think you're really serious about it, which I appreciate it. Yeah, I think people are taking movies a little more seriously now, which I like.
Oh. Does she want attention?
But like something that really annoys me when people are critiquing stuff is that they'll just say like they don't. Well, I mean, actually, I think it's okay just to say you don't like something, but I guess I think it's only productive for like us as like artists and people who make stuff is think like I don't like this, and then like why don't I like it, and like what would I do personally,
right?
You know. So it doesn't annoy me, but I think also if you're giving someone critique, I think you should at least be like I don't like this, and why don't I like this? Otherwise, otherwise it could just be your taste.
Right. You know? It usually is my taste.
Yeah, I mean it's okay for it to be your taste, but well, I mean, like you can just be like, okay, I don't like this dude's game, cause whatever. But like for my friends, I always want to like do those three things, or at least the first two, I think.
Yeah.
I don't like this, and why don't I like this? And then if I'm in the right mood, ooh, I like this.
I know. I love like that you can climb up the hues and some of the colors.
I like them because I can see they're used for other things, so it doesn't.
No, totally. Yeah, and it's like, oh, like you can obviously see where, like how we're like making purpose for this. Oh, kiddo.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's like the reason why kind of like that really bugs me is because I feel like when I'm drawing, like especially when I was younger, I would just like draw like a lot of like and add like random gadgets on this stuff and like little like segments, and then like it took me a while to like go back and be like, wait, like what's the point of this? Like it's not like why did the character put this there?
Yeah.
You know?
There's also like a lot of like glass in this world.
Ooh, I like this world.
You like look into things, but I kind of wish they would push it and like have more interesting things behind that glass, or like
you were saying people. I mean that's bullshit.
See, I couldn't tell where the glass was.
Yeah, that was crazy.
Right? It's like really hard to tell.
It's crazy because you ran down those stairs in like a second.
She wants to play.
Hey baby, you want to play a game? Oh, you're up here. You did it. She wants to play a game. Yeah, you like games? Gamer cat. She's eating my armpit hair.
Ew.
Gross. That's no good. Wow, what's wrong, baby?
Exit the grid.
Do you need water?
Does she need to pee?
I don't know. Actually, I think I can trust her to like not be terrible about it. When we start letting her out here by herself, I want to put like another little box.
See, they always do these things like in the elevators and other stuff, and then she just like looks directly at herself with this like reflection.
What's wrong, baby? 1 second, I'm gonna chase this guy down.
Okay.
You want to pee? I think she just wants to play. I'm gonna mess with her a bit.
Okay.
Out here. I'm gonna mess with her like this though.
Am I just gonna like run down this?
Oh, I like this.
Yeah, I love like the different colors. Oh, it's like
Ooh, pretty.
more
This is really
sunlight.
pretty.
No, that's pretty cool.
I think it looks better when it's not so white. When it's like different kinds of colorful white.
Whoa. See, this is what I'm talking about. Like seeing more consequences of like the protagonist's actions in the world.
So, like, what did she just do? She did that?
Yeah, is like important.
That's good.
Well, the screen space reflections are like really obvious.
What do you mean by space reflections?
So like it'll only reflect what's on the screen.
Yeah.
But like when you would like look down, it like disappears.
Yeah. pretty. I love it.
Wait, I kind of want to just like look at this a little more.
Man, I'm like never happy with smoke and fire in video games though.
I feel like it's kind of interesting. It still looks kind of fake from here.
Oh, pretty. Yeah, it looks super fake.
Get to the safe house.
Are you almost done?
Oh no. This is like still the beginning of the game.
Oh.
We didn't even get to our painful backstory yet.
Oh, I thought you like destroyed the world. You didn't save the world yet.
Oh crap, where do I have to go?
Aren't like dystopias kind of like dead now? Are people still making dystopias?
I don't know.
I don't know if you like there are any big dystopias coming out right now.
I feel like the young adult scene had its run.
They're like they tried to work it, but I really don't think it's gonna like happen anymore.
I feel like now that Hunger Games is kind of over, people are over it too.
Yeah.
Where do I go from here? Can I jump that?
I think like because I like dystopia, but I want like the perfect dystopia, and I don't think anyone's gonna make it, so I'm not gonna make it, but I don't think I can make it either.
Yeah.
Because I think like what I think would be good is like not like a generic dystopia, but like a generic society. I think like something that deals with like social media or Twitter, like not like oh Twitter is bad, but
I like the lighting.
I want whatever world we deal with to like have that kind of. Oh, I read such a good book. Oh man, this book was so good, but I don't want to recommend it. It was called Futuristic Violence and Other Fucked Up Shit or something like that.
How do I get over there?
It was really good. Oh my, that was so good. But I don't think the writer is like a great person. I can't tell. Well, I think he's okay. He did John Dies at the End. Have you read that?
I haven't, but I've heard of it.
Yeah. So I feel like I actually think he's okay.
I like this, dude. This lighting is so aesthetic.
Yeah, it's really pink. It's nice.
I love it. I love his like pastel colors because I actually didn't expect it to go that way. And a lot of the like original game kind of had some pretty like bland or like sort of obvious. Like a lot of the color palettes kind of stayed the same, so I like that they have like a little more variation, especially with like the time of day and like also like some of the climate stuff. So this to me, like the pinks are really cool, but I kind of wish they would use it to like more effect in some of like the cutscenes, because I feel like some of the cutscenes are a little too like, oh, this is like dramatic lighting for the sake of dramatic lighting.
Yeah.
Oh, to me that was kind of like a hard thing to learn for a chase scene. I probably should have learned that in like a tutorial. I pretty much did. But that was like a tough one because I don't think I'd done something like that before, so that was interesting. Unless I was supposed to learn it in like a run outside of that. But I think that's like the first time that I like seriously do something like that. What's cool to me too is revisiting scenes and seeing them in different lighting.
Yeah.
I don't really know what we're doing with all these things.
Oh man, look at this over. Sorry, I'm just looking at that book. Oh, it's her. That's her girlfriend. She's so beautiful.
I know.
I can't believe these two are in love and they're dating. It's good.
It's true.
I can't believe the main character's name is Faith.
Is what?
It's Faith. That's so much.
What do you mean, like the name or like the
Her
character?
name being Faith.
It's a leap of faith.
Yeah. Oh, you're right.
Do we get to like walk around? I like these monitors because they actually feel kind of functional.
Yeah.
I mean, they are kind of extra, but cute.
It's her funny little robot.
Yeah.
I like her room a lot.
Me too. I feel like this one is like the one that has like the most personality out of it.
Yeah, it has so much personality. You can feel like the history. Like there's those pillows in the corner.
Yeah, I know. Like this is like the
there.
first like time I see something, and I'm like.
And she has like those cool lights, like those little pink lights, like those fairy lights, and it's like you can tell she like put them up, and she thought they were funny. She kind of forgot about them.
Yeah, I know, totally.
Yeah, that's really good. Like, I want more stuff like this.
Oh, this is cool too. Like there's stuff over there. But yeah, this is like the first space that I've actually like felt like a person has lived here, and it's not just like a wizzy. I don't know.
I think like I felt like we really responded to her too.
Ooh.
So I think a lot of good things about her.
Wow, I can't believe I just died.
Yeah. Do you die a lot?
I hit the
I
wrong
don't even pay
button.
attention to you dying. I'm like paying attention to stuff, but I like this space. I like this like weird wall. What is this space for?
How do I go down? Oh, there you go.
It's like a walkway. She's a farty little baby. She like smells gross sometimes. Like, oh.
Yeah. It's my son. He always smells.
Yeah. Oh, this is cool. I like this weird like office. Oh yeah, anyway, I was thinking about this book that I read, and I thought it was really fun, was because like she goes to this like, well she's from like a really rural town, and she goes to this big city, and it's like really like shiny, everything's expensive and nice and fancy and modern, kind of like this, but then she's like, okay, trying to hide, and so she ends up with like, she like hides with some of like the like immigrant kind of workers who like aren't like a part of like the big city, and it was like, you get like this like level, like these different levels of like okay, this like beautiful city exists and like there's people that run it too, and I thought that was good, like contrast, and that's something I wish would happen here, is that we'd like
see someone else.
Yeah, I want to see like the skeleton and like the guts and like all the parts that aren't like nice and finished.
I kind of wish I saw like more people like.
Like how come there's like no construction going on? Like I have all the infrastructure perfect all the time.
Well, there are some construction scenes, but like it's like definitely not enough, and I kind of wish it would like show like buildings that had been built on top. Yeah. The thing that's really interesting in one of Rochester's like architecture history. See
there's people down there,
and you like see like the sheer dudes. Wow, this keeps popping.
Yeah, that's weird.
No, like this is like a totally normal thing that you do. You like stream in things and out, but like. This is like too obvious. It's like you should be smarter about your streaming. Like it's supposed to like when you're not looking at it, it won't render, but very clearly in the frustum here. So yeah, God, it's terrible. There's like more than once, but that one's like the most obvious one so far. There's one with the clouds and a lot's popping.
Pink is so beautiful.
I like this pink a lot. This looks familiar. I like how you can like run familiar territory.
Well, I really liked my 20th century art history class because we talked a lot about like the development of the city, and all these painters were creating paintings about how they felt like in the city, like in the crowds of people, and like the energy, and like how it felt to exist in these places.
That's interesting.
And I think that's like what I really like when I look at like a piece of art, when I can tell how people feel about where they are. And I think that's what's a little frustrating about me when I'm like looking at this, is like I don't know how we're supposed to feel about what we're looking at.
Yeah, because it feels like you're supposed to like idealize it. That's why I don't love it, because I'm like I don't think I'm feeling the thing that you want me to feel about this game.
Yeah, it's like is this good architecture? Are we happy about the world that has created this?
Yeah, because it's like I feel like when we look out these vistas, I'm more than anything I'm like, whoa, that's really cool, rather than like, wow, this is really scary. Yeah. And I feel like it should be scary. I don't know. That's my thoughts. Maybe it's meant to be like, oh, which is cool, but like to me that's not a successful dystopia.
Yeah, I think like there's no point in putting that much effort into this if you're gonna just be like, whatever, it doesn't matter.
From a design sense, I like how when you go back to the base, which you don't do super often, you still do quite a bit. It forces you to like do all these things that you might not have done in the last mission to like remind you and make sure that you're like you still have them mastered, kind of.
Oh yeah, that's good.
So I feel like it kind of keeps you refreshed.
That's good because I always forget shit all the time.
Yeah.